Hi, I'm Chakuma. In this video, I'll walk through my Playwright JUnit automation framework designed for scalability, parallel execution, and clean test architecture. Let's talk about the file structure. So our file structure is separated into main and tests. So our main contains our page object models, our utilities, and our configurations. Our test section, of course, contains our tests, one of which is BaseTest. From this BaseTest, all the other tests extend, such as a login test or employee CRUD test. We also have a login setup included, and we have screenshot on failure included as well. And if we look here, this is our layer diagram. We have various test classes, which, as I already mentioned, extend the base class. We also have our page object layer in which our tests interact with this page object. And then we have various utilities such as configurations, which load our global configurations, our drivers, which generate our browsers. We also have our various models and factories and so forth. Essentially, this framework isolates the browser lifecycle, each test, in order to support stable parallel execution and clear teardown. Here we have our base test, the test from which all other classes extend, all of the test classes, that is. And here we start with our before all, and essentially what we're doing is we're launching our Playwright instance. We're opening a Chromium browser. We start our login. We create our browser context. And this browser context is how we keep all of the tests isolated from each other and independent from each other. Then, of course, we have our teardown methods where we end test login. We also close our context and close our browser. We also have the ability to take screenshots upon failure of a test, and we extend with this screenshots on failure extension. I prioritize test isolation and deterministic execution to prevent flaky test behavior. I'm about to run this test in headed mode. Typically, when we run our tests locally, we run them in headed mode, especially for debugging purposes. And this is a successful execution. All right, so in our CI/CD pipeline, tests automatically run headless based on environment variables. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to push some changes to the repo. So we'll go ahead and push. Change README. So when we push these changes, what's going to happen is that our tests are going to start running in the pipeline. So we go to our workflows. Okay, so now our tests are running in the pipeline. So let's look at our GitHub workflows. And as you can see here, we run our API tests and our UI tests separate. So let's see how it looks when our UI tests run. So our API tests have already completed. Now let's look at the UI tests. The UI tests take a little longer because you have to interact with the browser and everything. But yes, so they're running. All right, I think everybody gets the point. So, all right. So all of our tests are finished. Our API tests are done, UI tests are done, and our report is published. So let's go ahead and take a look at that report. I have a link in my README. So let's scroll down. So here's our report, an Allure report. Okay, 43 cases ran, 100% pass. Remember this because we will get back to it. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to make this test fail so that we can generate a report in Allure and so that we can see the screenshot functionality, the screenshot on failure functionality. So let's run this and we'll just watch it fail. So this test has failed. So now let's generate the report. MVN Allure serve. And what this is going to do is it's going to spin up a report in the browser. So you'll get a web page with a report and the metrics on it. Okay, and here we go. So here's our failed test. And let's go to our failed test. And here we have a screenshot. And you can see right here where the test failed. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate. Now, I'm going to demonstrate parallel execution, executing multiple tests in parallel. So I'm going to execute smoke tests, the groups of smoke. This is one of the smoke tests. So what you're going to see are multiple tests executing. You're going to see clear opening of browser instances followed by teardown of those instances. And the nice thing about this is that the tests are all self-contained. They're all independent from each other. So in short, this suite is designed for safe parallel execution without shared state conflicts. And look at that. We just ran 9 tests in under a minute. So in closing, this framework focuses on stability, scalability, and maintainability. These are principles that are critical for production-grade tier automation. Thank you for watching.